Did you know that 90% of people let their emotions hijack their decisions at least once a day? Like a ship surrendering to the storm, most lives are steered by passing tempests of anger, fear, or desire, not by the captain's hand. But here's the truth the Stoics carved in stone 2,000 years ago. Emotions are not your master. They are the raw marble, and your will is the chisel. Every moment, you are silently recruited into a war, not with the world, but with your own untamed mind. The battlefield, your choices, the weapon, ancient wisdom that turns reaction into mastery. Will you remain a prisoner of fleeting feelings, or will you claim the Stoic's armor and command your inner world? The first move is yours. The Stoics discovered what modern psychology now confirms. We suffer not from events, but from our judgments about them. Like blacksmiths tempering steel, they forged tools for mental resilience, the dichotomy of control being their hammer and anvil. What can you truly command? Not external events, not others' opinions, but solely your perceptions, your assents, your actions. This is the fulcrum of power. Consider Epictetus, born a slave yet freer than his masters, who taught that freedom lies in distinguishing what is yours from what is not, or Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome's vast dominions, who reminded himself each dawn, "Today I shall meet interference, ingratitude, insolence, but none of these things can injure me." The Stoic voyage is not about calm seas. It's about adjusting your sails when the winds refuse to obey. Your mind is either a sanctuary or a battleground. Which will you cultivate? History whispers its lessons through those who faced adversity with Stoic resolve. Consider the winter of 168 BC, when the Roman general Publius Rutilius Rufus was exiled unjustly by the very republic he had served. Where others saw disgrace, he saw opportunity. Settling in Smyrna, he lived with such contentment that when Rome later begged his return, he refused. His persecutors had intended exile as punishment. Rutilius transformed it into liberation. Then there is the story of the Stoic farmer whose lands were ravaged by drought season after season. While neighbors cursed the heavens, he would say, "The earth tests those worthy of her fruits," and adapt his methods. When floods came unexpectedly, his soil alone retained nutrients, while others' farms were washed away. These are not tales of superhuman endurance, but of ordinary individuals who understood the alchemy of perception, how to transmute leaden circumstances into golden opportunities. The modern world offers its own parables. Imagine the cancer researcher who spends decades seeking a cure only to see her life's work destroyed in a laboratory fire. A Stoic would recognize this not as a defeat, but as the ultimate test of purpose. The flames that consume papers cannot burn away knowledge or determination. Or the athlete who trains for Olympic glory, only to break her leg days before competition. In her forced stillness, she discovers coaching talents that impact more lives than any medal could. These stories share a common thread. Fate delivers its lessons wrapped in hardship, and only those willing to unwrap them gain the gift within. Like trees that grow strongest roots when buffeted by winds, human character deepens not despite obstacles, but because of them. The Stoic archer draws back the bowstring of effort, but knows the wind may carry the arrow elsewhere. His excellence lies in the aiming, not the hitting. The true measure of Stoic philosophy reveals itself not in grand gestures, but in the quiet consistency of daily practice. Imagine beginning each morning as the Stoics did, with the premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Before your feet touch the floor, you visualize every potential hardship the day might bring: the missed train, the harsh words from a colleague, the failed project. This is not pessimism, but emotional inoculation. Like a firefighter who trains relentlessly, so that when real flames appear, his movements flow from muscle memory. You prepare your mind to meet chaos with composure. The Roman statesman Seneca would end each day with a different ritual, journaling under candlelight, interrogating himself. What weakness did I correct today? Where did I let externals dictate my peace? These were not mere reflections, but the whetstone against which he sharpened his character. Modern neuroscience confirms the wisdom of these ancient practices. When you journal consistently, you strengthen the neural pathways responsible for emotional regulation. When you pause to separate what is within your control from what is not, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center for rational decision-making. The Stoics understood what we now see in brain scans, that repetitive mental exercises reshape our neural architecture, just as physical training sculpts muscle. Consider the discipline of prosoch, attention, where you become a sentry at the gates of your mind, challenging every impression that seeks entry. A harsh email arrives. Instead of allowing it to trigger an immediate reaction, you interrogate it. Is this within my control? What would virtue demand here? This momentary pause creates space between stimulus and response, transforming you from a puppet of impulses to a conscious actor. Living in accordance with nature extends beyond mental exercises to how you engage with the physical world. The Stoics recognized that just as a river flows effortlessly along its course, human beings thrive when aligning with their rational nature. This manifests in simple but profound choices. Waking with the sun because your circadian rhythms honor nature's design. Eating foods that nourish rather than indulge. Walking barefoot on grass to reconnect with the earth's grounding. Energy. Marcus Aurelius would practice this alignment even in Rome's opulent palace, reminding himself to stand up straight, not straightened. The modern equivalent might be resisting the dopamine traps of social media to instead cultivate deep work, or choosing physical discomfort like cold showers to strengthen willpower. The most transformative practice, however, is amor fati, the love of fate. This is not passive resignation, but active collaboration with reality. When stuck in traffic, the Stoic doesn't fume at the delay, but uses it as an opportunity to listen to a meaningful podcast. When illness strikes, they don't rage against their body, but explore what lessons vulnerability might teach. A contemporary example is the entrepreneur whose startup fails. Rather than viewing it as a catastrophe, they mine the experience for insights that inform their next venture. This radical acceptance becomes a superpower, allowing you to navigate life's turbulence with the steadiness of a seasoned captain. The key lies in recognizing that while you cannot control every event, you retain sovereign authority over how you interpret and respond to each one. This is the essence of living in accordance with nature, not fighting reality, but flowing with its currents while maintaining your inner compass. The Stoic path reveals a profound truth. Our greatest battles are not fought in the external world, but in the silent chambers of our own minds. Through these teachings, from the dichotomy of control to amor fati, from historical parables to daily practices, we've explored how to transform emotional turbulence into unshakable clarity. The storms of life will continue to rage, but you now possess the tools to remain steadfast as the ancient oak rather than tremble like the reed. This is not philosophy for contemplation, but for action. Every moment presents a choice. Will you be enslaved by passing emotions or rise as master of your inner domain? The Stoics showed us that true freedom isn't found in controlling circumstances, but in commanding our responses. As you move forward, carry this question like a lantern in the dark. Will I meet today's challenges as clay in fate's hands, or as the potter who shapes my own destiny? The call to virtue is not a destination, but a daily practice, a continuous returning to principles when we stray, a recommitment to growth when we falter. Your life is the raw material, Stoicism, the chisel. What masterpiece will you carve? The arena awaits your courage. The time for theory has passed. Now begins the lifelong work of living.